Hey guys, it's the Tinman near the red barn. See all this blackberry? See how it's all fresh plumage on top? See all those flowers? Those flowers represent a zillion, because there's not very many flowers yet. They're only just starting to pop. But it represents a lot of berries. A lot of berries. Just in this plant, little field here. A person could come out of here with an unbelievable... All you do is you just cut your way through. But you really could get an immense amount of blackberry collection. Wild blackberry. Another thing, you see that tree line over there? Those trees have turned around and grown a lot. And if people pay attention to, like when trucks are, see back there where the trucks are driving and stuff, and we start to give comparisons and we start to use things to really flog our memory on the heights of these kinds of things. You know, go into some old history books, because those trees have been growing along this river and probably along your rivers for 100 years, hundreds of years, however long the river has been going that way or something. Point being is we do have history on the stuff, and we can use our brains to calculate the history. Now, wondering why there would be so many blackberries right here? Well, look what we do. We connect into huge trail systems here, just like you see on the other side. That's all trail system. Maybe a couple of spots where they have to hop over roads, but that has to do with maybe trees coming across the roads, you know, for easier jumps and what have you. Look at all that plumage. Look at all that blackberry, guys. Skunkweed wherever. Just tons of skunkweed everywhere now. Like I've said before, skunkweed has been one of my interest plants. I've always liked it. Something about it. I always talked about it. As a kid and everything. Hey, I seen some skunkweed out there in the forest today, Dad. You know, stuff like that. As interesting as some people find slugs, maybe. Or shellless snails. Anyways, that. Look at that. That almost looks like you could have a couple of spots of hanging out in there, eh? Probably there's no trails popping through on this side much here, eh? Interesting for the tracker, man. So I get a lot of interest. I get interest out of the poles. I get interest out of all the trees in the area right here. I get interest out of the trailing and the different padded down areas, and you know, where things have been walked in. You know, most of us ignore them because we're just thinking maybe our brain just goes straight to like a deer system. I don't know if you heard those couple before the car came and stuff, and as I was still chatting right back this way, there was a couple of woofs. So we will continue this way. But I'm just letting you know that, you know, I can just see it easily. I just can go and see it easily now. I get a lot of activity out of being able to see that, because when you look at the grass, you decide, like this grass is only popping. Okay? A week ago it wasn't this long. 2 weeks ago it wasn't near what we see here. Look at all the seeding in it and stuff. Like, everything is rich. Look at the ferns here in this area. A huge fern farm. Are we starting to get it? Are we? What is that? Is that more black? Yeah, that's blackberries amongst other things, but they're just tall and tall because the ground's still low down in here, you know, like my head wouldn't be above that. Maybe there's a couple of mounds my head would come up, but this is big stuff, guys. And I just want, you know, I'm losing subs. I'm losing big time subs. And I don't care. But I might move on because of that. But because it's not really about the subs, it's about people getting the message. And I'm telling you right now, we're not all getting the message, and a lot of people are leaving the message. I was hoping I would do my bright meter, but it won't. I could probably do it a different way, I guess. So, whatever you think out of this, try to encourage other people. I don't know. Maybe I will try one of those things and see. You know, if I had a better allowance, I would be encouraged to just keep flowing. But the truth is, I struggle living how I live already. And that's why I'm not putting on any mileage or anything. It's because I really can't afford to do that. Last time it put me in the hole big time. I was such in a rough place, I didn't even really realize I was going in such a hole and putting other people in difficult situations. Like my kids were, well, mainly one kid, but my kids in general actually ended up being my borrowing system, my borrowing bank, and I got no flack from them or anything. They just tried to help me out however they thought they were helping me. You know, they're young-minded, and I'm glad they did what they did. I don't regret if I took advantage of them. I don't regret it, because like I tell them, this is huge. You guys might not still understand it yet, but someday you'll understand that this needs to be talked about. This is real stuff going on. And yeah, your dad's worrying, and I have to borrow from you. I have to get a certain amount of information. I have to just go. And I did that. And now I can easily just get other information because of what I did in my first couple of years on this. And now I've calmed down a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit better and stuff. And hopefully things are going to pick up. Be able to pay off my debt. I'll be able to travel. Go back to the territories, areas where I've been, and show us the differences. I think what we're doing is we're getting a pretty good shot of some inner foliage hidden, where not many people have a view from the direction I'm going in right now. So, peace out from the Tinman. I forget to do that focus thing once in a while and make sure it's good. Everybody's well. Hopefully everybody's getting what I'm trying to say, I guess. Peace out.